What's up, guys? Sam from White Trash Motorsports. We're trying to clean the shop out, but unfortunately we keep accumulating stuff. We figured we'd take a couple minutes today to show you how to pick an LS motor that you might have scored off of Facebook or the junkyard of unknown origin. Now, we know this motor ran when it was pulled, but it's been setting for a while. We're going to check a few things to show you. First off, when you get an LS motor, don't worry about getting a 6.0. You don't need a 6.0. If you can find a 5.3 or a 4.8, find the most complete motor you can find. For example, if you're not going to run the Holley system, make sure you get the factory wiring harness with it. We're going to do an upcoming video how to thin this down for your street rod if you're not going to run boost, to how we can make this run with a factory ECM. But do note, when tuning and using a factory ECM, you're going to need someone to unlock the computer, like HP tuners, Tuner Pro or whatever, but you're going to need a computer unlock. But we'll show you. I'm going to do a breakdown of how to make this harness just a standalone. We got lucky on this one. It even has a two-wheel drive 4L80E. But first thing you want to do, an unknown engine. Like I said, we got some stuff taken off of here for right now. This motor was complete. You want to verify that the engine turns over a complete rotation. You put it on the crank and spin the motor over. And listen, you can kind of hear if it's got some compression, you're going to know it. This motor's turning over. So we're half the battle. No rods are wrapped around the crankshaft or hanging out the side of the block. The motor turns over and it sounds like it has a little bit of compression to it. So that's good. Yeah, might be in the junkyard or in the back of a guy's truck, so you got to do this quick. Not everybody's going to give you a few minutes to run a compression test on the motor. Next thing, you want to pull the spark plug. The spark plugs can tell you a lot. The spark plugs can tell you if it's got water in the engine. If it's sat with water in the engine, it can show possible head gasket problems. Also, it can give you a running condition. Was the motor burning oil? Fresh spark plugs should be red flags sometimes, because why did someone throw new spark plugs in this motor? Looking at the condition of this side, everything looks good. We see no signs of water, no signs of rust. Everything looks fine. They're not oil soaked. This motor's been setting for approximately maybe 3 years, but it was covering up. Okay, let's pull the other side real quick and check those plugs. I'll be back over. I'll bring them back over in the right time. I'm just going to pull the spark plug real quick. And his motor sounds good. Look, if you can, check the exhaust ports. Look for anything foreign. Check the throttle body. Make sure all your sensors there. Sensors add up. You buy an engine without coil packs, you know what I mean? You're going to have some money. Even if you go on Amazon, expect to spend $80 to $100 for a set of coil packs, you know. These sensors here, you know, map sensor, you know, at your local parts store, that's a $60 item. You know, so, you know, it can add up. We got this whole package here for $200. Now we're going to check these ones. Now this one here looks like it may have a little bit of water in it. That plug's wet. Okay, we're going to check that cylinder and see. Actually, it's oil, so good. Maybe somebody poured, looks like it's transmission fluid. So maybe someone poured some transmission fluid in the exhaust ports to keep the motor, since it was setting outside. That's a good idea if you're going to store a motor, is to put a little bit of oil in the cylinders. You know, this motor's complete throttle body. We pulled the damper off. We got the alternator with this, the power steering pump, and I said the 4L80. Simple as that, guys. Pay attention. You want to check your core plugs on your block. Make sure nothing's pushed out if you can see them. Like I said, because the core plug's not going to protect the engine from freezing. If the engine has water in it, it freezes enough to push the core plug, you can almost guarantee the motor's going to be cracked. So if you show any signs of freeze up, just walk away. You know, on an LS motor, there's always your casting numbers on your heads. Like, see, these are 317 heads. We know the 317 head came on the LQ4. We know this is a 6 liter. Well, we knew it was when we bought it. Here on the front of the motor, it's also cast 6 liter. 6.0 liter right here on the front of the block. This is an early 6 liter, so this has the press pistons and the little bit weaker rods, but this motor's good for 600, no problem. We have a 5.3 over there. To see, the 5.3 or 4.8 is a little bit more difficult because you can use the same block for either or. It says 5.3 or 4.8. Those motors use the same bore but a different stroke crank. The 5.3 and the 6 liter share the same crank. The 4.8 uses a smaller crank. So I hope that helps. Like I said, I'll thin a wiring harness out for you guys and show you guys how to do that. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. We appreciate it, guys. We're going to try to get this shop clean. Have a good one.